not for you. Well, I think actually,
Good morning, everyone. Aren't we lucky to have the talent of Liam to help us lift our spirit into worship on the organ? As he comes down, let's thank him one more time. Let's all settle in for our time together this morning. We thank you for joining us this morning in our sanctuary, and also our friends watching us online, also our furry friends, our friends online via our YouTube channel. This particular week, it's important for us to recognize that we are meeting today on land originally stolen from the Tocobaga and the Seminole Native Americans. Traditional Thanksgiving has many textures. Today, in our service, we'll focus on its most literal translation: we'll give thanks. My name is Ross Scott, and I'm a member of this year's UUSP Board of Trustees. For those of you new to UU churches, a Unitarian Universalist minister typically leads about 2 out of every 3 services each year. On other Sundays, like today, a guest speaker or a congregant leads services. I'm today's worship leader, and I'm truly excited to share today's service, It Truly Takes a Village, Volunteer Appreciation Sunday, with my partner, today's worship associate, Morgan Gresham.
Thanks, Ross. My name is Morgan Gresham, and my pronouns are she, her. If you want a church where people routinely come together to help one another make a difference in the wider world, I have good news. You may have found your church home. Today is an all-ages service, meaning that our school-age kids and teens will stay here in the sanctuary as our RE staff have the day off. Our nursery is open for children age 3 and under.
As Unitarian Universalists, we are a people of diverse beliefs, but we do share one common faith: that every being is worthy of love, that we are connected to one another and to this earth, and that what we do in this world matters. We'd like to give a special welcome to any newcomers today. We won't ask you to do anything except maybe a little wave if this is your first time-ish with us. Are there any? Hello, hello, hello. We're so glad you're here. Hello, all. Hello. Thank you all for being here today. We have one special announcement today, and it's wonderful and just like this much complicated, so tune in for a second. After our service today, we have our Stone Soup Sunday. This means that immediately following service, we invite everyone into Gilmore Hall next to our sanctuary. You'll wander around and look at all of the beautiful bowls on display there. Those are awaiting your bid in a silent auction. 100% of our donations support our social justice outreach. That's feeding our unhoused friends every single night in our courtyard. Our church family currently befriends and feeds approximately 120 neighbors every Friday night, primarily unhoused. We are also a cold night shelter, and week before last, we hosted 17 unhoused friends overnight upstairs. This is all an undertaking, so we know, thank you again, thank you. Of course, we should recognize that, Sabina. And we know you'll be generous with your support in bidding on bowls. At about noon, we'll determine the high bids on each bowl, and you'll get to take that bowl home, but first, you'll get to eat soup in it. There are not enough bowls for all of us, but there is enough soup for all of us. So everybody will get some soup today, whether you bid on a bowl or not, but we hope many of you will. This happens only one time every year. It's today. We're all lucky to be present for our Stone Soup Sunday. So even if you're shy, don't be hesitant to drop in. We're all like-minded people looking for a place to belong together today after service.
And we hope that you'll read the rest of the announcements in your order of service. in our monthly newsletter, and on the TV in Gilmore Hall during coffee hour and during soup.
We've already mentioned our music director, Liam. Today, volunteering as our hymn leader is Todd Wellman. So how could we keep from singing? Please rise as you're willing and able for our first hymn, My Life Flows On in Endless Song. This hymn is number 108 in your gray hymnal.
My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, though far off hymn that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? What though the tempest round me roars? I know the truth, it liveth. What though the darkness round me close? Songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my utmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging, since love prevails in heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing when tyrants tremble as they hear the bells of freedom ringing, when friends rejoice both far and near? How can I keep from singing? To prison cell and dungeon vile, our thoughts to them are ringing, when friends by shame are undefiled. How can I keep from singing?
Please remain standing for our chalice lighting. The flaming chalice is a reminder that we choose to focus here together for this time today, and that we believe such time is sacred. When Nancy Millichamp and Terry Perkins light our chalice, I invite you to say their covenant out loud. The words can be found in your order of service and also online. Feel free to follow along with the two hand movements, hand to heart, and then hands reaching out like you're serving. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
You may be seated. Y'all, we have an interactive service today. At this time, we're going to welcome our own master storyteller, Geneva Nelson, to join us on stage. We also invite today all our kiddos to come up and sit on the steps. The kids and the young in mind, come sit up here with us on the stairs, hear the exciting story of Stone Soup. Do we have any other kids who haven't joined us yet? Feel free to come up, anyone. Miss Trish is going to pass out pens and papers to our kids, and we're going to ask them to use their imagination to draw the ingredients and the portions of Stone Soup as Miss Geneva tells our story.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Long, long ago, lost in the midst of time, there was a small village way up high on the side of a mountain. The winter was always cold there, but one year was the coldest anybody could remember. when the villagers woke up on winter solstice, it was the coldest anybody could remember there had ever been. Winter solstice is about December 21st. That's the shortest day and the longest night each year. About in the middle of the town was the town square, and usually there are lots of people in the town square all day long. But nobody was there this day because it was so cold. About the middle of the day, 3 travelers came to town and came to the town square. Now back then, they didn't have cars or trains or buses or airplanes. If you went somewhere, you either rode a horse or you walked. These travelers were walking. They looked around, they didn't see anybody. Now back then, they didn't have restaurants or hotels or motels either. If you were traveling and you wanted something to eat and a place to stay, you had to find somebody who had a house and would let you stay there and eat there. So they went and knocked on the nearest door they could find, and they asked for some food. And usually people gave travelers food, but this man said this was the worst winter they'd ever had. The snows had come early and ruined their crops. They had barely any food left to eat for the whole winter. There wasn't enough for their family. They couldn't spare any for anybody else. So one of them said, "We understand. Is there anybody in the village who might have food for us?" And he said, "No, everybody. It's like that for everybody." So the man said, "Okay, we understand, but could we borrow the biggest cooking pot in town and we'll make some stone soup?" And the man said, "What is stone soup?" And the traveler said, "Well, if you will get me the biggest pot you can find, we'll make some and I'll show you." So the man went and found a big pot. The travelers put snow in it, and they made a fire, and they put on the fire and melted the snow. And one of the travelers took a small stone from a pouch from around his neck, and he put the stone in the water, dropped it in there, and he got a stick, and he washed it off with the snow, a long stick, and he was stirring the water, and he said, "This is going to make a fine soup." Well, the villagers looked at him like he was crazy. I mean, they were too polite to say anything, but they were thinking, a stone in hot water is not soup. But after he kept stirring, and after a while he said, "You know, if I had one small onion in this, it would smell so good." One of the women said, "My family's had nothing to eat but onions for months. That's all that's left from our crops this year. But we could spare one small onion." So she went to her house and got a small onion and brought it back. One of the travelers took a small knife out of his pocket, and he washed off the onion with the snow, and he washed off a rock, and he put it on the rock, and he chopped the onion, and he put it in the soup. And he kept stirring. In a few minutes he said, "You know, if I had one small tomato to put in here, that would give it a nice color." And there was a man who said, "My family has only had tomatoes to eat since this whole winter. That's all that's left of our crop, but we could spare one small tomato." So he went to his house and got a tomato. Before he left, the traveler asked him, "Why don't you stop at the home of anybody else in the village who's not here and invite them to come and bring a vegetable and come eat stone soup with us?" Well, everybody they talked to was delighted to do that. They had few visitors, and soup sounded great. So everybody in the village went and got one vegetable and brought it back, and brought back other people who brought their vegetables. Now, I'd like the children to tell us what vegetable you would put in the soup. Sure.
like carrots.
All right, that sounds good.
Cauliflower. Celery.
This sounds like it's going to be a great soup, so I want everybody to think about what vegetable you would put in it. Well, they cooked and cooked and cooked until the soup was almost ready, and then the travelers told the people to go back to the houses and get bowls, and they would all eat the soup together. They did that, and everybody loved it. That soup was so good. Hot soup on this cold day, and all the families had just been eating one thing for months. They were tired of it. This was so much better. So the people in the village learned that when you don't have very much, maybe if you put a lot of things together from everybody, you can make something really wonderful. So the people really loved the soup and loved the travelers and invited them to come back anytime. For the rest of their lives, the travelers came every winter solstice to this village, and the travelers and the villagers made stone soup and ate it together. That's the end of my story.
Thank you so much, Geneva. We are going to ask the kids to bring your art supplies and come stand over here next to the wagon with Miss Trish. Our kids have one more surprise after our responsive reading.
Our responsive reading today focuses on all forms of abundance. It's by Lorelei Greenwood Jones, and it can be found in your order of service. I'll commence the reading, and the congregation will read the responses printed in bold. What is abundance? What do we call riches and bounty?
Abundance is all around us.
That we are alive is priceless. That we are loved is beyond worth.
Love others in turn fills our souls. The gifts of food that Mother Earth provides from her body, endlessly renewing, generously feeding all. Free and without need of recompense, holy, holy, holy.
The friends and family surrounding us, our possessions, the homes that shelter us, all are forms of abundance.
The seasons and tides forever circling, sunrises and sunsets, the blessings of another day, in this we are gifted. Remember, too, to be grateful. Take time to thank the provider for your bounty. With gratitude, with thanks, with love, do we fill our hearts.
May you be forever blessed, remembering that even in times of scarcity, we are ever blessed.
May we share what we have with those who have nothing and be agents of abundance.
We now come to the time in our worship service where we usually place a stone to recognize joys, sorrows, and concerns. This special week, we'd like to use our stones differently. We will ask our youth to place one single stone of complete joy for the life of our beloved congregant, Ruth Bentley.
Thank you, kids. As many of you know, Ruth physically left this earth this past week at the age of 92. John Motter, her son, and another beloved member, invites all of us to a celebration of Ruth's life on Saturday, December 6th at 4 p.m. It will be held here in our sanctuary. It will also be live streamed for those not able to be here in person.
Our kids have polished 18 stones in the religious education classes recently. They have these stones here, and they will walk down the center aisle with these stones of appreciation now. Here's what we ask of you. If you know someone here at U St. Pete who honors the legacy of Ruth by volunteering, please raise your hand. The kids will provide you with a stone and a card to pass along to an important volunteer after the service. Please share these stones of joy in honor of Ruth and her commitment to volunteering at UU St. Pete. So if you would, please raise your hand if you would like to share a stone with someone.
While the kids are winding this down, everybody take just a moment and think about what this feels like. They have polished these stones. The stones that we typically place as stones of joy will be forwarded to other members sitting around us in gratitude. And this, in my opinion, embodies what Ruth's spirit was all about. So if you didn't hear Miss Trish, she's saying, others raise your hand one more time. They've written thank you cards and they'd like to hand out some thank you cards to also pass along. So anyone who would like to share a thank you card with other members, the kids are running them up and down the aisles now. All right, kiddos, I see a hand up here. Yes. Right up here. Keep coming. One right here. So, okay, here we go. Hit more. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Still one. Yes. More up at the front, Miss Trish and kiddos. Yep, another here. Do we have any more? One more?
Is there one more?
One right here. Perfect.
Oh, you have a couple more, right, Josie? Two more. Thank you, cards.
Here they go, right.
Over there. Raise your hand again, please.
And on that note, let's thank these kids for this hard work. And let's all exhale for this past 10 minutes, which could have gone in any number of directions today. And as we come back into our center, let's now together take 1 minute of silence to remember our Ruth, to consider all of our own abundant gifts, and to give thanks.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close. set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Good morning, everybody. It's nice to see you all. My name is Barbara Archibald, and I'm here to talk about gratitude for volunteers. And to do that, I'm going to tell you a story about my husband, Tom, who died 3 years ago. He loved this church. He came from a long line of ministers who served in Nova Scotia in Canada. I had never seen him in a church until we came here. And then I noticed immediately he was so comfortable. He walked around all the rooms as if he had lived his life here. He was a chemist, but he was also a builder and a repair person. And in fact, he had built his own house many years ago, and it was a beautiful house. Once here, he noticed that the ceiling tiles were falling down and the lighting boxes weren't working properly. So he set to work immediately. He started in Conway and then moved to Gilmore. I always knew where to find him, atop a tottering ladder in one of those areas. Eventually, a few other men from the congregation joined him in his labors, and they soon made a visible difference in our environment. It was easy to feel gratitude to them. The place looked great. And I knew that Tom felt a lot of gratitude that he had something that he could share. My story at Tom's celebration of life concerned this aspect of his volunteer work at the church. Reggie Craig was a good buddy to Tom, and often the two of them worked together on ladders, telling jokes and sharing philosophy. Their name should have been the Ladder Philosophers. Right after Tom's death, Reggie greeted me as I came to church. We shared our sorrow, and all of a sudden, Reggie pointed upwards, skywards. I was a little confused. What was he saying? Did he mean that we should not be sad because Tom had ascended to the heavenly kingdom? I asked him, "Why are you pointing?" He looked back. "Don't you remember? The ceiling tiles, the ceiling tiles." Look at the ceiling tiles he repaired, and they were beautiful. Before I finish my story, I just want to tell you that I have a new beginning in my life. I'm leaving St. Pete, where I've been so happy, and moving to California to be nearer my kids. I feel that it's time to go, but I'll miss all of you, and I know that I'll see you again.
Thank you so much, Barbara. I first met Tom when he was up on a ladder in Conway fixing one of the tiles, so that story brings a lot of reminiscence to my heart. We will miss you. My talk today is gratitude for our volunteer leaders, shared ministry, adaptive leadership, leading with love. These are not just words. They are the heartbeat of our U St. Pete community. As we continue our practice of gratitude this month, we pause to recognize the many hands and hearts that sustain us. Every Sunday service, every committee meeting, every outreach effort, every ceiling tile, each one is possible because of you. You, the volunteers who give your time, your energy, your care. We know you serve for many different reasons. Some of us are motivated by a deep desire to make a difference in the world. Others of us seek connection, learning, or the joy of living our values in action. Whatever the reason, each contribution matters. Each one ripples out in ways that we may never fully understand, ways we may never fully see. Gratitude is not only about saying thank you, it is about noticing impact. For those who prefer quiet service, know this: your work is felt. When you prepare a meal, greet someone new, organize a fundraiser, or tend our sacred spaces, you create the conditions for love, justice, and belonging to flourish. You help us live our covenant. And if you are looking for a way to contribute more of your time and talents, you can always reach out to Gigi, who is currently serving as our fellowship and interconnectedness lead. I'm sure you'll see her today after service in Gilmore when we're all enjoying the soup. This month, let us practice gratitude that honors both visibility and humility. We celebrate openly where it feels right, like today, and we share our stories of impact. How a simple act of care becomes a beacon of hope. Because gratitude is not just about spotlighting individuals, it is about recognizing the web of generosity that holds us all. To every volunteer leader, to all of you, thank you for embodying the spirit of this congregation. Your gifts, whether seen or unseen, make a difference in the world.
Mother cannot guide you. Now you're on your own. Only me beside you. Still you're not alone. No one is alone. Truly, no one is alone. Sometimes people leave you halfway through the wood. Others may deceive you. You decide what's good. You decide alone. But no one is alone. Mother isn't here now. Who knows what she'd say? Nothing's quite so clear now. Feel you've lost your way. You are not alone. Believe me, no one is alone. Truly, you move just a finger. Say the slightest word. Something's bound to linger. Be heard. No one acts alone. Careful, no one is alone. People make mistakes. Fathers, others, people make mistakes, holding to their own, thinking they're alone. Honor their mistakes, everybody makes one another's terrible mistakes. Witches can be right, giants can be good. You decide what's right. You decide what's good. Just remember, someone is on your side, someone else is not. While we're seeing our side, maybe we forgot they are not alone. No one is alone. Hard to see the light now, just don't let it go. Things will come out right now. We can make it so. Someone is on your side. No one is alone.
You should be. Well, who in their right mind would want to follow that? And I designed the service. How about that? That was some poor planning on my part. Okay. It Takes a Village is a book about developing children. It was written by my shero, Hillary Rodham Clinton. Its title has become a catchphrase. Sometimes it takes all of us to get something accomplished. That's how we use it these days. Or sometimes it takes all of us to make a decision. As we age, sometimes it takes all of us to remember a word. What is that word? This is what I'll ask Jimmy. What is that word that means it's like a platform that sticks out from something, but it doesn't have any support under it? And then I'll say something like this. Jimmy, it starts with an A and it has 2 syllables. And he'll look at me and say, cantilevered? Oh, that's it. It takes a village. It takes a village. But like many things in Hillary's life, the book was attacked politically by people who believe that only a family raises a child, not a village. That's not my belief, really. Teachers, coaches, neighbors, babysitters, Miss Trish, our friends, our congregation. It takes a village. So I have this wonderful story from my birthday party a couple of years ago when my mother was visiting from Texas. She talked about what life was like in rural Texas when I was born in 1964, how remotely we lived, how she didn't have a telephone, she didn't have a car, how when my father got on the bus every morning, she was left alone with me, a child she didn't know what to do with. And at the party, my friend Jamie asked my mother, wait, they had buses that his dad could take to work when he was born? And my mother looked at her and said, it was a school bus. We were both in high school. We were babies having babies. You think it didn't take a village to raise this? That same teenage father. Now, he and I had a complicated relationship our entire lives. He was the youngest of 11, and he had a hard childhood. His father, my grandfather, worked the oil rigs on the Texas coast, and he hitchhiked home when he could to help raise the kids, and not necessarily all that kindly, according to the stories that I've heard. So my father grew up tough-skinned but tender-hearted. He was what we used to call a he-man. He was athletic, and he was attractive, and he was charming. He looked like the Marlboro Man. He had a cigarette, he had a cowboy hat, he had the whole shebang. Y'all, he was a magnet for his buddies. And the women loved him. Many of them married him. Truth. He was just the quintessential hard-living, manly West Texan. And I was his son. We grew up together, and I'm not sure that there was ever much more of a parental first-son mismatch. My father died almost 3 years ago, and I'd like to read you a little snippet from his obituary. Franklin D. Scott of Gustine, Texas, passed away on his 75th birthday, January 2nd, 2023. He had recently been diagnosed with metastatic liver cancer, and like most everything in Frank's life, his passing came on fast and very unpredictably. He was born to Gertrude and Elbert Scott. He was the youngest of 11 children. He was a pure Texan. He was born in Orange. He was raised in Port Arthur and Sydney. He raised his own family in Brownwood, and he retired on a farm in Gustine. Frank started working at Southwestern Bell as a teenager, and he retired from General Telephone, where he spent years and years as a telephone repairman. He became a piddler deluxe. He was a jokester. He loved to fish on Bolivar Peninsula, and he sure enjoyed showing up at your house unannounced. A lifelong gambler, Frank loved nothing more than winning all the poker money of his kids and his grandkids, really anyone who walked into his kitchen. Truth be told, he was seemingly the last yellow dog Democrat in the Lone Star State. He was sincerely passionate about the worth and the dignity of every human life. On a side note, I can't repeat every one of his words in this sanctuary, but he had a complete distaste for them blankety-blank evangelicals all over the place. If he'd had the exposure, he would have made a really good UU. But since he lived his life refusing to get on an airplane, he never strayed very far from Texas. But then came the ultimate irony. On his 75th birthday, he was flying high in the air en route to Colorado because he had individually made the commitment to donate his body to medical science. If we could all be so committed to our beliefs. In an extremely red section of rural Texas, during the 2016 presidential election, when Hillary was still trying to teach us that it takes a village, and her opponent at the time was focused so exclusively on building a wall between Texas and Mexico, my father had a gnawing in his soul. Some of his high school friends were undocumented. His GTE co-workers' families, the same. His fishing buddies, lots of people in our communities. That was the way we grew up in border areas of Texas and Mexico. My dad made a cardboard sign, and it said, "Let's grab him by the..." I'm gonna let you fill in the blanks of what his sign said, but he made this in magic marker and cardboard. And for days, that Frank Scott would march around that courthouse in that rural West Texas square in that hot Texas sun with that sign. Concern for his village kept him marching. People were not nice to him. 82.6% of all his local friends disagreed in the voting box with him. 82.6%. I was not nice to him. I thought his sign was crude. I was afraid he'd get shot. I would have done it differently. That's what I'd like to believe. But in reality, I wouldn't have done it. I'm sorry, and I'm embarrassed to admit, I would not have been brave enough to do that. And someone has to. I think he knew that. So herein lies my point. Even though 82.6% of the county didn't understand, 15.1% of the voters in Comanche County saw my father, and they needed to know they were not alone. They needed someone to be that volunteer. Today, 15.2% of our youth identify as LGBTQ+. In this current administration, they need a village. They need to see us. Homelessness in America grew by over 15% in 2024 alone, in calendar year 2024. People in our village, 120 people every Friday night, need our food and our friendship. Even inside our own vibrant church, we rely heavily on volunteers. I am a volunteer. Morgan is a volunteer. Todd is a volunteer. The worship team, Sandra, Gigi, Sabina, Reggie, Karen, the other Karen, Trish, Jimmy, John, Barbara, today's greeters, our entire Friday night unhoused supper team, our yard work team, our board, our social justice, our racial justice, our treasurer, our new roof researcher, our coffee hour team, our UU's Helping People team, our care team, our covenant group leaders, our green team, our Christmas decorators, our safety team, our animal ministry, our board clerk, our new member class lead, our mingles coordinator, our nominating committee, our endowment board, our personnel committee, our care team, our front office volunteers. You get the picture. To pull this off, it takes every single one of us doing something. For as many opportunities as I've just mentioned, that many more exist again in this church. Whatever your interest, we have a place. If you don't know how to find an opportunity, please speak to any of our church leaders. Morgan mentioned, find Gigi. Gigi, raise your hand. Find Gigi after service. If you don't know how to find a church leader, find me. This is what I look like. I'll point you in the right direction. UUSP, it's not like other churches, y'all. Our church, as Morgan said, is a shared ministry. We have exactly one full-time paid staff member. Our reliance upon and our appreciation for our volunteers, y'all, it is immense and it is endless. Each of us can't do everything. I am 61 years old and I'm still that tender boy on the fringe. I can't march in small town Texas. But each of us can do something. I am a grown, educated man, and I can share my convictions with a group of my friends today. What will you do? What will you do? Let each one of us join Ruth Bentley in this web of generosity. It truly takes a village. Thank you.
In our world, many voices are silenced. Many truths remain unspoken because the speaker fears rejection, judgment, or worse. Our financial offerings today help sustain this congregation as a place where all voices can be heard, where truth can be spoken without fear, where vulnerability is met with compassion. We give in gratitude for this beloved community and with hope for a world where more voices can speak their truth. In the sanctuary, the offering will now be given and received.
That which is given in love is received with unabashed gratitude. Thank you. Now please rise as you're willing and able for our closing hymn. It's number 1064 in the Till Hymnal, and it's everybody's favorite, including mine.
Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning o'er the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companion, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I I give thanks to the ways upholding me. Hail the great wind steering me on. Greet the infinite sea before me. Sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
Please be seated. Our closing words today were written by Adam Slate, sharing our blessings. We end our gathering with gratitude for camaraderie, shared wisdom, goodwill, and the support that we extend to each other within this community. May we continue to bless each other with these gifts, and may we reflect those blessings back out into the world as we minister to those around us. Now please remain seated for today's special postlude while Liam kindles our Thanksgiving excitement with a special photo tribute for our wonderful and essential UU volunteers.
While Liam winds us down here, this was all intentional. This is going to be the enticement for all of you to stay for Stone Soup when our volunteer slideshow plays in Gilmore. Oh, or let's just keep going either way.
many ways that you can volunteer your time is to help us with the Wi-Fi that would enable us to see our slideshow more reasonably.
Technology.
Now, we invite you to follow along with the hand gestures as we release the flame of our chalice, the light of truth, head, warmth of love, heart, fire of courage, fingers, as Terry and Nancy extinguish our chalice. The words to UUSP's traditional chalice extinguishing are in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of courage. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world.
Now, if you will, allow us 3 announcements to move us into Gilmore Hall. The first is, today is the last day to catch Claudia, back here, Claudia, in Gilmore after our service to sign up to participate in our annual Thanksgiving dinner. Y'all, I think we already have 50 folks coming, so it's gonna be a big deal. Come with us on Thanksgiving, but see Claudia. Dinner will be served at 4 p.m. Please bring your dish to share no later than 3:30 p.m. and watch the UUSP Facebook page for further details. Additionally, today at noon in Conway Hall, bring your soup with you and watch the documentary film about Blackwater advocates in Tampa Bay. It's A Splash of Color, Getting Black in the Water. A Splash of Color is a documentary produced by a local filmmaker, Hilary Van Dyke, featuring interviews on the lived experience of participants and delves into local Black history, including the connection between African Americans and the water, the sponge diving industry in Tarpon, current environmental issues facing St. Pete. This film will last about 40 minutes, and again, we invite everyone to bring their soup and watch the film. Now, our worship is over, but our service begins. We ask that all of you join us in Gilmore Hall for Stone Soup. Enjoy our kids' drawings. If you have the means, please bid on a bowl or on a lot of bowls. Say hello to people you don't know. Eat soup. Enter our web of generosity. We hope this time together will help you through your week, and we hope every one of you remember, no one is alone.